we could mobilize the resources we have with a little bit of effort. We could start that Entrepreneurship Institute. We could follow the recommendations of this class. We could articulate between an on-campus incubator and an off-campus incubator. We could, because we have them already. It's just thinking about them differently. We could capitalize student businesses, right, Bill? We've got the mentors. We just have to bundle it. I say, why not here? We have, in KIC, for 5 years, been looking at ideas about how do we help our employers retain their young professionals. We've been looking at ideas about how do we create a network system where there's more communication, which is going to lead to more innovation. And this year, this group of young people looked at ways that we could encourage as a community student entrepreneurs. And I know that everybody in this room has already employed all of the resources at their disposal to move this forward, but we could work together and we could really bring these recommendations to fruition. This has been the most ambitious class I have ever seen because 4 months ago, most of them hadn't even thought about the kinds of concepts that we've been discussing in this class and the brainstorms we've been doing. And at this point in time, a whole bunch of them are already acting on these recommendations. They weren't even waiting to give them and try to recruit their allies already. We've continued to work all year with our sister educational institution, the city of Binghamton. But my view is that education is not a social function, it's a covenant. It's a covenant that we as colleges make with families, and we have several family members of these students here today. It's a covenant that we make with young people themselves and with future generations. And it takes more than PhDs to do that. It takes everyone in the community working together and teaching young people that they are part of the community and they have a valuable contribution to make. We have lots of resources, and I'd like to introduce you to some of the social innovators in this community. Conspicuously and obviously, those kinds of projects are social and civic innovation. But I'd like to point out that our business community here has been equally innovative and can help us figure out a way over the next year to implement these recommendations. Greater Binghamton Coalition, STOCK, SCORE, and the Chamber of Commerce. One of the things the research from KIC has showed us consistently over the last 4 years is that even young professionals, which many of our area companies are also, and lead employers are concerned about retention of young professionals because they get lonely. But young professionals will stay in a region more consistently, and employers will retain employees when those young people feel significantly engaged in their community. So every year, the Bloom Leadership Institute tries to recruit young professionals for long-term commitments and board service in area non-for-profits. So we're ramping up all kinds of things on the social end. But we need our business community and our business leaders and the organizations that I've just flipped on the screen to help us figure out. We've got incredible social networks in this community that have done amazing, innovative things, and I teach 2 other leadership courses here in human development, and people from the nonprofit community, the schools, and the public sector are here all the time. But one of the things that we haven't thought about is how are we going to capitalize student businesses? We have students that have gone through 5 years in this program who didn't just stay that year that they took the class. They have consistently stayed for multiple-year commitments. We have to view students as fully enfranchised citizens who really care about this community and have the brains and the will to stay. You'd have to read these papers because they're full of the latest cutting-edge research that supports these recommendations. They have models, more description of the models from elsewhere, and even more importantly, from the purpose of the community leaders in this room, they've identified the resources that we have right here, that if we think about them just a little bit differently, we could make some things happen.